Today, I platinumed Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, one of the best PlayStation 3 games with over 4.8 million units sold worldwide. To actually platinum Uncharted, I have to beat the game on crushing difficulty, which went as well as I expected, and a not so good use of my weekend. This game was praised for its visual graphics, logic reasoning puzzles, and its stunning gameplay. This is also one of the first games that introduced the PlayStation Platinum Trophy. This meant that it was a more challenging trophy to earn than other games due to the early use of the trophy system. So, let's get started. The story starts off with Nathan Drake, a charismatic treasure hunter, is aboard a boat off the coast of Panama with journalist Elena Fisher. They've just recovered a coffin of Sir Francis Drake, Nate's supposed ancestor. But inside, there's no body, only a centuries-old journal filled with clues pointing to the lost treasure of El Dorado. But before they can celebrate, pirates led by Eddie Roger attack. Nate and Elena fight them off, but the boat is destroyed in the process. Just in time, Victor Sullivan, Nate's mentor, arrives in a seaplane and rescues them. Back on land, Nate and Sully examine the journal and decide to follow its clues to the Amazonian rainforest. Believing the journey is too dangerous, they leave Elena behind. Nate and Sully travel deep into the Amazonian rainforest. There, they discover a Nazi U-boat, strangely stranded inland. Nate climbs aboard and finds a map pointing to a remote island in the Pacific. But as he exits, they're ambushed by Gabriel Roman, a ruthless treasure hunter, and his enforcer Navarro. Roman demands the map and shoots Sully square in the chest. Nathan escapes alone, devastated, believing Sully is dead. However, while escaping, Nate is reunited with Elena, who followed them despite being left behind. She's furious but determined. Using Sully's seaplane, Nate and Elena fly towards an island marked on the Nazi map. Elena films the journey for a documentary, but as they approach, anti-aircraft fire hits the plane, with one engine failed. They scramble for parachutes. Elena jumps first and Nate follows, but his chute is torn. He crashes into the jungle canopy, alone and disoriented. Nate regains consciousness, bruised but alive. He begins searching for Elena, navigating ancient ruins swallowed by the jungle. He battles Roman's mercenaries, solving puzzles left by the Spanish explorers, and uncovers hidden chambers. Eventually, he finds Elena, and together they discover the truth. El Dorado isn't a city, it's a massive golden idol, carved with grotesque faces and surrounded by warnings. However, there is a plot twist. Elena's camera records footage of Sully being alive and, strangely, cooperating with Gabriel and his men. As he stumbled underground, he is swarmed by Eddie Roger's men. Thinking they've escaped them, Drake and Elena explore more until Eddie Roger and his assistant find him, not with faces of anger, faces of fear. Eddie explains his men were killed by creatures. Suddenly, they're attacked by mutated beings. Fast, feral, inhuman. Eddie dies and Elena saves Drake. Drake goes further underground and after neutralizing a dozen mutants, he finds a letter from Francis Drake explaining El Dorado is cursed. After fighting about another creatures, Drake went upwards and finds that Gabriel kidnapped Elena. After reuniting with Sully, we go underground once more to find Gabriel beat them to the curse. Soon, Navarro tricks Gabriel into opening the treasure, which curses Gabriel and Navarro kills him. This is because Navarro plans to sell this as a bioweapon, and since Drake is the main hero, he clings onto the statue and climbs aboard the boat, creating a dramatic showdown. In the end, Navarro is beaten unconscious, Elena is saved, and as Navarro tries to shoot, he's drowned with his own curse. In the end, Sully returns with a boat full of gold from a bunch of pirates, quote unquote, too dead to care. And as the sun sets, the ending of the first game in the series is complete. Now, for the part you've been waiting for, a guide to platinum. Uncharted Drake's Fortune received positive reviews for its cinematic storytelling, strong voice acting, and impressive visuals, though some critics noted repetitive combat and limited gameplay variety. It earned a Metacritic score of 88 out of 100. A review from IGN states that the final sum is far greater than the individual parts. Maybe you don't dig the combat, or maybe the popping gets you down, but the overall package of an endearing story, outstanding score, great performances, and fun gameplay should put this title on the top of your holiday wishlist. 1. Aim behind cover, not inside it. When you're fully pressed into cover, your field of view narrows and your aim becomes stiff. Instead, just peek slightly out of cover, enough to aim freely while still being protected. This lets you line up your headshots faster and react to flanking enemies. Think of it as a shield, not a prison. Tip: use the left stick to lean out slightly and then aim. Don't rely on blind fire, it's weak and wastes ammo. 2. Switching shoulders. Nate can switch which shoulder he aims on. This is crucial for corner fights. If you're stuck aiming around a wall with poor visibility, tap L3 to switch shoulders. It gives you a better angle and keeps your body behind cover. Tip: practice switching shoulders mid-combat to stay unpredictable. 3. Keep distance and be patient. Enemies on brutal or crushing are deadly at close range. Rushing into a fight will get you shredded in seconds. Instead, hold back, use cover and pick off the enemies one by one. Let them come to you. If they rush, punish them with a shotgun or quick headshot. Tip: don't chase enemies, make them chase you into a trap. 4. Listen for rushing enemies. In Uncharted Drake's Fortune, enemies don't just shoot, they talk, and if you listen closely, their voice lines give away their next move. These cues are especially important on brutal and crushing, where one mistake can mean instant death. Here's a breakdown of the most common enemy lines, what they mean, and how to react. Here's another example of how the enemy's lines sound like.
Stop here! Move! I'm going to pay for that.
5. Switch weapons often. On brutal and crushing difficulty, ammo runs out fast. Don't rely on one gun, grab whatever you can. Swap weapons during fights to stay armed, and use grenades to clear out groups. Tip: pay attention to which enemies carry which guns. Riflemen usually drop AKs and M4s, while pistol users drop 9mm or revolvers. Knowing who drops what can help you plan your fight. And congratulations, you've learnt the 5 steps to platinuming Uncharted Drake's Fortune. And here's the result. I even managed to do brutal by following these steps. In no time, you'll add another platinum to your account. And that's it.